Welcome to my 2023 quarter two worst to best, a pointless presentation by me. So remember when I did that tier ranking of all the books I read in quarter one in 2023? No, me neither, because it's almost been a year, okay? So I'm doing something different for quarter two, even though it's been so long. So basically, I'm just going to go through every book that I read between April and June of 2023 and see what I remember about each book. All right, let's start. So, number 19, the worst one of quarter two, Friday I'm in Love by Karen Garrett. So this is about a girl who she wants to have her sweet 16, but she can't have her sweet 16. So instead she's like, I'm gonna have a coming out party, and she's gonna come out, but also there's like a love story, and she likes this girl, but she doesn't know if this girl is into girls, blah blah blah. It was okay. It was YA. I do like some YA, but some YA obviously isn't my vibe. I gave it a 3.5. Number 18, Do Not Disturb by Frida McFadden. Okay, I love Frida McFadden, but this one wasn't it. It wasn't my favorite. I gave it a 3.75. Basically, there's this girl. She did something bad. She's running away from that. And when she's running away, she goes to this motel in the middle of the night in a storm, I'm pretty sure. And some weird stuff starts happening. I like Freedom McFadden thrillers, but this one was my favorite. Probably my least favorite. Anyway, 3.75. Number 17, Evidence of the Affair by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This was a little novella. Basically, it's a woman who finds out her husband is cheating on her and with another married woman, and she's sending letters to the man of that woman, the married husband to that woman, right? So the two people being cheated on, sending each other letters, and that's basically it. It's a short story written through letters. I love Taylor Jenkins Reid, but it was just a novella, so 4.0 stars. Next book, number 16, The Miserable Will by Lemony Snicket. Okay, another book in a series of unfortunate events. I think in this one they go to like work at a lumber factory or something like that. Count Olaf is there. Obviously, the kids are in danger. These books actually get kind of crazy for like a children's book, but anyway, basic series of unfortunate events, always be good. 4.0. Next book, number 15, Mistakes Were Made by Meryl Wilsner. Also 4.0. This book is about a college girl who um, is gay, and she goes to this bar outside of her campus, and she meets an older woman, and they hook up. And then she realizes that woman is the mother of her best friend at college. So, there's a little bit of a forbidden romance. It was pretty good. It was a bit long from what I remember, but it wasn't bad. 4.0. Number 14, Pretty Face by Mary Hogan. This is a book, it's a YA book about a girl who her mom is always ragging on her, like, oh, you should lose weight. And all her friends are like, or people around her are like, oh, you have such a pretty face, whatever. So for the summer, she goes to Italy. And it's like not even focused on all that. She just is meeting people. She meets a man, or a guy. It's YA. But anyway, it was an interesting book. I read this as a kid, so it was kind of nostalgic to read it again. 4.0. After I Do by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I love Taylor Jenkins Reid. This book wasn't my favorite, but obviously it wasn't bad because I gave it a 4.25. This book is about a woman and her husband. Basically, the marriage is on the rocks. They're always fighting. They kind of hate each other. So they decide to take a year off their marriage to see if they can find their way back to each other. So they separate basically for a year, no contact, and they see what happens. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. So 4.25. It was pretty good actually for what I rated it back then. Okay, number 12, Mary Jane by Jessica Anya Blau. So this book is about a girl. I think she's 14. She lives in a very conservative family, so her parents are all like a little bit strict, and this is based in the 70s. But she needs a job, or she's getting a job for the summer, I believe. So she goes to babysit for a different family, and this family is very the opposite, not strict at all, don't have any rules, and it's a very stark contrast to her own family. This is basically just a literary fiction book about a girl discovering a different world than her own, than the one that she's used to. And it was pretty good, 4.25. Number 11, Heartstopper Volume 4 by Alice Oseman. Okay, so Heartstopper, all of them I read, well, the ones that were released, I read all of them in June 2023. And all of them are a higher rating than this. So, it's pretty good because this is a 4.25. So, Heartstopper Volume 4 is Nick and Charlie. They're getting closer in their relationship, but Charlie's having some mental health issues, and so this is probably why I rated this one the least one. Like, it wasn't bad at all. No, by no means was it bad, but the mental health aspect was a little bit sad. So 4.25, still a good book, good graphic novel. Number 10, Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. Listen, I really liked this book. And then the movie came out. I really liked this book. But anyway, Red, White, and Royal Blue is about Alex, and he's the first son of the United States of America, and Henry, who's a prince in Britain, right? And it's like an enemies to lovers, and it was so good. It was a bit long, but it was really good, and the movie was also really good. So, enemies to lovers, gotta love it. 4.25. Next book, Heartstopper Volume 3. Okay, so I gave this a 4.5. This is basically Nick and Charlie. Again, the relationship is getting closer. At least at this point, it's Volume 3, right? So they're getting closer. They end a class trip. They go on a trip to France. So it was cute. Different setting. Not bad at all. 4.5. Next book, The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. Okay, this was good. This was a book. Apparently, it's like a Star Wars fan fiction, but I don't know. Anyway, this is about what's Olive, and she's dating no Olive, and wait, what's the plot of this? I rated this so high. Okay, Olive, she wants her roommate to get off her back about dating someone, I think, or no. Her roommate likes a guy, but she thinks that Olive is also into the guy. So to pretend to give her roommate basically the go ahead to date this guy, she has to pretend that she is dating someone. So, but when she sees her friend, she has to apparently kiss the first guy she sees. So she kisses none other than Adam, who is a very, moody professor at their school. It's a grad school, so it's not too weird, I think. But anyway, so they decide to fake date. It's mutually beneficial, and things happen. It was pretty good. I think I need to read more Ellie Hazelwood. 4.5. Number 7, Heartstopper Volume 2. Okay. No, sorry, Volume 1. Volume 1. This one was good, Charlie, he's gay. He was outed a few years ago, or maybe it was the year before. And, or he was teased about it. I don't know if he was outed or if he was just teased and bullied about it. But, then the next year, he meets this guy in his like homeroom. I don't know what it's called in Britain, but they meet and he's like, oh, he's cute, he's into him. But he doesn't know if he's into guys. So, the whole thing happens. Obviously, there are more volumes. You know what happens. It was good. It was really cute beginning to the story. So, 4.5. Oh my gosh. 7 Days in June. Okay. I read this in June. Fitting. It's a book about two authors, Ava and Shane. And they met for 7 days in June when they were in high school, like around 17. And then Shane left and Eva never saw him again. And then over the years, they are both writers. They've been writing. Little do they know, they've been writing about each other. And 15 years later, they meet for another 7 days in June. And stuff happens. Obviously, it was really good. It was actually really good. I need to read more Tia Williams because I love the way she writes. I have so many highlighted quotes from that book. It's so good. 4.5. Okay, number 5. Top 5. Here we are. Okay, Heartstopper Volume 2. This is, I guess, probably my favorite one. I rated it a 5.0. Basically, Charlie and Nick are just getting closer. This is like the high points of the beginning of the relationship and everything. Like there was a cliffhanger in Volume 1 and then it got resolved in Volume 2 and it was just good. It was just good. Nick and Charlie. Love Nick and Charlie. 5.0. Number 4, Wash Day Diaries by Jamila Rouser and Robin Smith. This is a graphic novel, just about 4 women. It's like 4 different stories, and it's about Black women. That's it. They're living their lives. They're doing their hair. There's stories. There's like romance. There's different things, and it's interesting to see how their lives are intertwined because they're friends. And so it's interesting to see the different stories. And through the graphic novel, the colors are really nice, and like the stories were interesting, and again, like how they're intertwined, it was really good, and it made me want to read more graphic novels. So 5.0. Number 3, we're in the top 3 now. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Listen, Taylor Jenkins Reid can do no wrong because this book was so good. Okay, it deserves the hype that it gets. It's about a woman, Evelyn Hugo, living her life in Hollywood, and the 7 husbands that took her through, or that aligned with her life going through Hollywood. There's romance, there's drama, there's Hollywood, there's glamour, there's everything, and there's like a little mystery strewn out through the story, and there's different perspectives, and it's just good. It's just good. It actually, honestly, surprisingly, wasn't my favorite Taylor Jenkins Reid book, but it's still a 5 because look at it. It was good. It was just so good. It was a good book. 5.0. Okay, next book, number 2. Surprise, another Taylor Jenkins Reid book, One True Loves. This is a book about a woman who loses her husband in a helicopter crash. Very sad, obviously, way to start it. She's dealing with grief. She has to get over the loss. And then eventually she starts dating again. And she's dating to the point where she meets this guy that she's known before, and they get in a relationship, and he's to the point of proposing, I believe. And I think they were engaged. And then her husband comes back. So that's a little bit of a predicament that she's in. This was really good. I also liked the movie. I liked the cast of the movie. It was a very good book. I would recommend it. 5.0. I have a lot of 5 stars in quarter two. I don't know. It was a good reading quarter, I guess. And then finally, book number 1, Maybe in Another Life, also by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Wow, that's crazy. I think as of right now, this is my favorite Taylor Jenkins Reid book. If I were to reread them all again, it might change, but when I read this, I just loved it so much. So basically, this book is about a woman, um, and she on one night she makes a decision, and the decision is either to stay out with the guy or go home with her friend, and that decision changes the trajectory of her life, and the book follows what would happen in either path. What would happen in her life if she goes stays out with the guy, or if she goes home with her friend, and it's vastly different. It was really interesting to see the kind of differences and like what would have happened or what didn't happen. It was just really good. I thought it was written really well, and I really liked it. And I like the way Taylor Jenkins Reid writes. Even her earlier books, like this one, it was just really good. 5.0. So here we have a recap on my top books from my favorite of quarter two to my least favorite of quarter two. And I don't know, it was a really good quarter for reading, obviously, because I had a lot of 5 stars. I wrote a lot of like diverse books, and I wrote a lot of interesting things. Surprisingly, I only had one thriller. I guess it wasn't my thriller era, but I don't know. Good quarter for reading. So, moral of the story: Taylor Jenkins Reid. Read her books. Read her books. Thanks for watching. Tune in next time or whatever. Or okay, that was cringe. Bye.